If you break the rules and receive a fine, is the cruise line responsible? Just because you read something on the internet does not make it true. And should cruise lines have church services? Yep, it's once again time for what every cruiser wants. Chris here with High Seas Cruising. Welcome to today's video and our newest episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. I have 3 new cruise comments for you this week. So let's jump right in here with the first one. Now, unless you are a brand new cruiser, you are probably aware of the fact that you cannot take food on and off of the cruise ship. Now we're talking about open food. Prepackaged items, those can come on and off that are sealed in their original packaging. But let's say, for example, you go up to the buffet, you get some extra food items, you cannot take those off of the ship. If you're getting on the ship and let's say you're munching through a hamburger, you cannot take this half-eaten hamburger back on the ship. And experienced cruisers know this. But I understand that maybe not everybody does, because according to this comment, they seem like they didn't know. Carnival Vista owes me $100 and I intend to collect that money. We had a long drive back to Midland, so we took a few rolls, some meat, cheese, and fruit to take off the boat. I'm not talking about a feast, just some things for the 3 of us. We were stopped by the port police. They fined me $100. Nowhere on the boat does it say a $100 fine for doing this. Nowhere. This should have been told. I wrote this same statement on the blank Facebook group page, and everyone was sympathetic. They all told me to write to you for a refund of this obscene fine. All right, so let's break this one down here real quick. 1, it does say on the ship that you're not allowed to take these type of items off the ship. It may not have been specific about the fine because, of course, the fines can be different in different ports, and the cruise line may not know what the port police is going to charge you for a fine, because that is who charged the fine. Not the cruise lines, but the port police. And I guess I'm wondering, where do they intend to collect this money? Because again, the cruise line didn't charge it, the port police charged it. Do you believe that the port police are going to refund you that money? Because it seems like you believe the cruise line owes you this money. But you guys let me know what you think right here. Do you think if you break the rules and take food off the ship, which it says you're not supposed to do, port authorities, the port police, customs, whatever it may be, catches you with these items and fines you for it, is the cruise line somehow responsible? I don't think they are. But of course, you guys may think differently, so let me know what you think about this one. Roll calls, Facebook groups, cruise boards, these are very popular items. Lots of people participate in them. They write on them, they leave comments, they ask questions. I get why they're very, very popular, especially for people that are looking for new information about cruise lines. But look, just because it's written on there does not make it true unless you know it comes from a reliable source. And this comment is an example of why that's important. Your friends on the cruise boards are saying that Carnival will go back to doing the old way of the safety drill from February the 1st. I sure hope not. The old way was so inconvenient. People are always late, missing, people talking, and it sucks being jammed in herd style like we mean nothing to nobody. The new way is so much better. It's the your time dining of muster. No one wants to stand around in the hallways waiting on dinner, and no one wants to be herded into crowds for muster. It's a terrible idea. So why is this happening? And this is what I mean by an example of sometimes you read something and it is not true. Because Carnival has reiterated they are not going back to the old way of doing the muster drill starting February the 1st. Nothing official has been put out from the cruise line other than them saying we have no intention of going back to the old style of muster. But obviously someone wrote it, someone repeated it, and now people write in comments asking why the change is coming, a change that the cruise line did not put out. The only cruise line that I am aware of that is doing muster drill the old way is Disney Cruise Line. So for this comment, just look. Just because you read something on the internet does not necessarily make it true. Do some research, do some follow-up, and always check with a reliable source. That way you know what is true, what is not, and what is just people on there talking? Should cruise lines offer church services on board the ships? Is that something that more cruisers want? Is that something that more cruisers would like? Well, according to this comment, it is. I have 21 cruises notched on my belt, and only one time was there not a minister or preacher on board who could conduct a mass. Guess what? That time is today on the ship Vista. It is obvious then to say that Carnival has dropped the ball and fallen behind the other cruise lines and upset many Texans' expectations by deciding not to have church service on the ship. Well, I'm a Texan, and it didn't mess with my expectations. I'm on vacation, but hey, that's just me. So I'm going to throw it out to you guys. Do you think that cruise lines should offer church services on board the ship? Obviously, it would have to be a non-denominational church service. I couldn't imagine that they would have the time or space or availability to do one for every single religion out there. So it would have to be non-denominational. But what do you guys think? Would you like to see cruise lines offer more church services? Or are you fine, you're on vacation, you're not worried about church while you're currently on the cruise ship, and it's good, you can just wait until you get back home? Let me know what you guys think about church services on cruise ships. All right, and that is going to be our video today for what every cruiser wants. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day, and like always, we will see you out on the high seas.